Under the enchanted night sky, when the sparkling light of the planet Bethlehem suddenly appeared, and the stars shone brightly as if whispering the secrets of the universe, a miraculous phenomenon stirred the hearts of countless people. Amid that vast space, the wise men from the east noticed a sign that transcended all natural things, like the sacred promise of a savior about to appear. It was that very moment that opened a series of events arranged in a sophisticated and mysterious way. From the prophecies of the ancient prophets through the arduous steps of the family of Joseph and Mary to the extraordinary astronomical signs. The story of the birth of Jesus is not only a historical tale, but also the epic of faith, of the divine arrangement that surpasses even the logic of man. When mentioning the first signs, we cannot help but remember the story of the priest Zechariah of the tribe of Abijah in the Jerusalem temple. While performing the incense offering ritual, Zechariah unexpectedly witnessed the presence of an angel who announced the joyful news to him that his wife Elizabeth, long barren, would soon conceive a child. This child was later identified as John the Baptist, the one who paved the way for the Savior. This event, which occurred around May or June, was not only symbolic, but also an important piece in the sacred timeline. 6 months later, according to the legend recorded in the Gospel of Luke, the angel Gabriel came to Mary and brought the unexpected message that Mary would conceive and bear a Savior. The 9-month gestation period began to be counted from that moment, leading us to the hypothesis that the birth of Jesus might fall around September or October, a period with a mild climate convenient for the activities of movement and gathering of the people. Alongside those supernatural messages, the image of the shepherds tending their flocks under the starry sky also presented an important sign. On a quiet night, when the air was cool and the sky clear, the shepherds unexpectedly witnessed the appearance of a radiant angel, carrying the announcement from God. They, accustomed to moving their flocks across vast fields under the moonlight, found the atmosphere that night different, as if the entire universe was simultaneously sending out the message: the Savior has come. If we consider the weather conditions of Judea, the cold winter nights with rain and wind are not the times when shepherds usually choose to bring their flocks out into the field. Therefore, that image further reinforces the hypothesis that the birth of Jesus likely occurred in the spring or autumn, when the air is gentle, favorable for the journeys of both people and animals. Not stopping there, another extraordinary astronomical sign attracted the attention of countless people. That is the planet Bethlehem. After he was born, according to the Gospel of Matthew, the wise men from the east began an arduous journey from distant lands to search for the King of the Jews, announced by the light of the mysterious star. They followed the sign of that star, crossing thousands of miles of geography and the challenges of nature, until they found the place where he was resting in a humble manger in Bethlehem. Many scientific hypotheses suggest that this phenomenon could be the conjunction of planets such as Jupiter and Saturn, a nova, or even an unusual comet. However, no theory can fully explain the mystery of that star except by the explanation that it is a sign arranged by God, emphasizing that he had come to humanity at the appointed time. The coincidence between the astronomical phenomenon and the sacred message of the prophets created a comprehensive picture, making the story of the birth of Jesus even more profound and full of meaning. Equally noteworthy is the event enacted by Emperor Caesar Augustus, the census throughout the Roman Empire. According to the Gospel of Luke, this order forced everyone to return to their hometown to register, causing the family of Joseph, who had the lineage of King David, to leave Nazareth and move to Bethlehem. That journey of about 80 miles, although arranged in a physical manner within the framework of the empire, became an important piece in God's sacred plan. More than 700 years earlier, the prophet Micah had prophesied, "But you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, though you are small among the clans of Judah, from you will come forth for me one who will rule over Israel." This event seemed to be woven from the threads of fate, as the census, which was a tool of power of the Roman Empire, became the key to fulfilling the ancient promise. This further highlights the cleverness of God's plan. to use what seem to be random events of man to accomplish miracles that surpass even our understanding. In that historical picture, one cannot fail to mention the image of King Herod, a brutal and tyrannical figure, who, after hearing of the birth of the Savior, ordered the massacre of children under the age of 2 in Bethlehem. This tragic event not only depicted the cruel nature of Herod, but also provided precious historical data to determine the timeline of Jesus' birth. According to historical evidence, if Herod died around 4 BC, and if Jesus was under 2 years old at that time, then his birth likely fell between 6 BC and 4 BC. Moreover, after that tragic event, the family of Joseph was warned in a dream, leading them to quickly flee to Egypt to protect God's Son from the dangers of the world. This event not only fulfilled the prophecies of the prophets in the Bible, but also showed the direct intervention of God in human history, ensuring that the plan of salvation was always maintained and perfected. Overall, the series of events from Zechariah's offering, the message of the angel Gabriel, to the appearance of the Bethlehem Star, from the census of Caesar Augustus to the cruelty of Herod, were arranged meticulously in the divine tapestry of history. Every detail, however small, carried a sacred message, contributing to the affirmation that the birth of the Savior was not merely the result of a series of coincidences, but the pinnacle of a cosmic plan woven through the ages. Not only is the birth of Jesus a historical event, but it is also the epic of faith, of love, and of eternal hope. A message through which God delivered the promise of a bright future for humanity. From a personal perspective, after many years of studying historical documents, academic research works, as well as the spiritual traditions of peoples, I have found that the December 25th we celebrate today is only a product of the process of historical transformation, of the strategies of spreading faith applied when Christianity gradually affirmed its position under the domination of the Roman Empire. The religious leaders of that time cleverly transformed pagan festivals into celebrations of the new faith, in order to facilitate the widespread dissemination of the message of the light of the world. However, if we return to the signs recorded in the Bible and the sacred prophecies in the pages of the Scriptures, we will realize that his true birth may lie in a different period. Perhaps in the warm autumn or the gentle spring, when both nature and people are ready to receive miracles. The essence of the story does not only stop at determining the exact timeline of this great event, but also opens up a space for reflection on the profound relationship between man and the Almighty. When we look back on the series of signs, from the astronomical event with the Bethlehem Star, from the call of the angels in the quiet night, to the ancient prophecies of the prophets, we see that everything seems to have a deep meaning, as if the universe has been arranged perfectly to prove that the appearance of the Savior was something predestined long ago. In every detail, we can feel the presence of a supernatural force, surpassing all human understanding and serving as living evidence of God's intervention in the flow of history. Moreover, when we relate to the spiritual values of ancient cultures, we find that the spiritual festivals of the people, such as the Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot, or Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, all carry messages of renewal, of hope, and of the sacred presence of the Savior. These rituals are not only occasions for people to honor the past, but also a promise of a future filled with light. The coincidence between historical events and spiritual festivals has created a tight bond, as each sign further highlights the meaning of the message. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. This further confirms that, although man may err in calculating and arranging time, the sacred plan of God always transcends all limits of human understanding. In the context of modern society, where technology and science have developed tremendously, we need to remember even more that amidst the storms of life, there are sacred values that cannot be obscured by time. The story of the birth of Jesus is a profound reminder that, even if history may be distorted over time, the light of faith, of love, and of salvation will always be maintained and spread. Whenever we hear about Christmas, we do not only remember the gifts, the sparkling lights, or the warm gatherings, but we also need to feel the spiritual strength, the inexhaustible inspiration from the story of the Savior. who came to bring new life to humanity. I believe that when each of us stops to listen to this great story, we will realize that within the prophecies and historical signs, there is always a timeless message, a call to live fully, to live with faith and love. Every sign from the census of Caesar Augustus, from the prophecy of the prophet Micah, from the image of the angel appearing in the night, to the arduous journey of the family of Joseph and Mary, are indispensable pieces of the miraculous picture woven by God. Those details not only show us a meticulously arranged process of history, but also open the door for us to reflect on the relationship between man and the Almighty, a bond built on faith, perseverance, and undying hope. With all these reasons, I call on you, the one watching this video, to join together in embarking on a journey to explore the mysteries of history and faith. Open your heart to deeply feel the message of love and salvation that Jesus brought to humanity. Do not just stop at celebrating Christmas with material images, but go deep into the root of faith. Learn the historical and astronomical details that have proven that, even if we may not have precisely determined the day he was born, his message, the light amid darkness, will always be the lamp that illuminates our path. Share your thoughts. Spread this story to everyone around, so that every heart is lit up by faith and hope. Together, we will turn every moment of life into a new chapter, a story of love, forgiveness, and undying life. Each one of us can be the wise men of modern times, those who know how to utilize clues from the past to build the future, contributing to enriching the historical picture of humanity. Christmas Eve is not only an occasion for giving gifts or gathering with family, but also a moment for each of us to ask, what is truly important in our lives? Let the story of the birth of the Savior become the motivation, the sacred call that guides you through challenges, helps you regain faith, and build a life full of meaning. Through that, we will realize that in every moment of life, even when we are stuck or lost, the light of God is always present, always ready to illuminate the path for us to reach the shore of peace and happiness. Let us continue on that journey together. Let our hearts be open to receive every sign, every sacred promise woven through the ages. And if you feel that your soul needs warmth, if you need to return to the roots of faith, then take some time to read the pages of the Bible again, listen to sincere sermons, and share this story with those around you. Only in this way will the message of the light of the Savior be powerfully transmitted, spread forever through every era, and beyond all limits of time.